What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Absolutely gorgeous day down at the beach. Definitely merits 5 out of 5. And the title of this episode is Why I Bought More XRP Today and Sold Others. I Made a Bold Move. Watch this episode to the end. I got a great one for you guys. And I'm feeling it, even though it's been a rocky several months, but I'm sporting my XRP cufflinks on this afternoon. And a shout out to Paul up in beautiful Pennsylvania. He is a legend. He's 11 years into XRP. Got to snap it up at 0.006 cents. And you know, we all have our GBU days, our good, the bad, and the ugly, and it beats you up. At some point, we all go through that. So anyway, I was really happy to call him and just discuss all things XRP. And Paul just realized we are so imminent. It feels like we've been waiting forever. Actually, you have, and I'm about half as long, but I guarantee that things is just right around the horizon. We'll be going over it in this episode. And a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. And thank you as always as we head up towards 8,000 subs. Appreciate each and every one of you. But indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you are feeling for Taco Tuesday. And if you do Twitter, follow me at Rob XRP007. Love my XRP Twitter family. And don't forget about my big 3 for custody I like. Number 1 being iTrustCapital, 0 custody fees, 1% on the trade fees, and also they're going to be bringing out an ROI on your XRP. They give you $100 when you sign up. Link is in the description down below. Also, you can transfer an existing IRA over there. So I've had 2 friends that have moved massive bags between 50 and 200 grand. That packs some XRP. So great strategy there. And also don't forget about the fine folks at Caleb and Brown. Also no custody fees. You can pick up the phone. And also when we hit the banana zone, I already got my sell orders in over there. It takes about 48 hours to get KYC. If you missed the interview, we interviewed him last Wednesday. And link is in the description as well. And last, everybody's loving. I've been using the heck out of my Kraken exchange for the last couple of weeks. They sweeten the pot. You get upwards of 150 bucks when you open up an account. Link is in the description. Love my Kraken. I'm going to be reaching out to those guys. And last but not least, probably my favorite thing that makes me sleep well at night is my ROI on XRP. OMG, email me your name, number, and a good time to call you. Email's in the description. And as I mentioned before, my level of enthusiasm has done a 10x since last week. So love to share that. And actually, you get the highest grade of institutional grade custody that you can possibly get. And last but not least, the Wound will be bringing out the Patreon group. It's $19.99. Link, if you look down in the description, you'll see more details about that. Looking forward to launching that. Also in the comments, Michael says XRP decouples from BTC, then LFG. Yes, it's not if, but when that will happen. And also in the comments, George Scott says, awesome, Rob, very much deserved. That I got 589. I was the 589th follow from Jake Claver and his 100+ follows that he does. Yeah, it indeed made me smile. And currently, market still kind of sucks. Well, we got Bitcoin at 93,000. It's up about 1% on the 24-hour. XRP at the time I was writing this was 223. It was up about 5% on the 24 hours. And yes, I bought the dip. And also, we did get off to a rocky start. Even almost all XRP YouTube influencers are having trouble because many of them rely on Twitter as well as I do. But I got mine on my cards, so I don't have that issue with Twitter. But they tried to go to the tabs. They couldn't play videos or read content and stuff like that. And that's because they were having problems with the cloud server that not only affected Twitter, but also Caleb and Brown, if Fiat Leak, among others. But I think it's been sorted out. And also, there was a bunch of, not quite sure what it was happening with the Franklin Templeton Spot XRP ETF. Many were saying that it was delayed on the 24th. Breaking news as about an hour ago per Brewmaster Brent. Shout out to you, Brent. Says the Franklin Templeton did launch today. Yes, that's really awesome. So now there's 7 remaining, which will all launch between now and November 29th, which is the following Sunday after Thanksgiving. Let's hope that we have an early Christmas present and they announce a BlackRock ETF. Again, with the 8 remaining, it's 17,000 higher than the assets under management at Canary Capital. If you throw in BlackRock, you're 160,000% higher than assets under management. Sounds like a supply shock coming to an XRP theater near you. And for a little TA down by the beach, none other than eGrad Crypto says he actually spots a bullish divergence in the charts. So yes, the sell-off hopefully is coming to an end. And Smoke Dog, by the way, up on X says ISO 222 adoption surging ahead of deadline of this Saturday, the 22nd of November. He says convergence is happening. No more delays. Yes, yes, yes. David Portnoy in the news per the Rob Report. Shout out to you, Rob. He actually bought 1 million XRP and other tokens as well. Yeah, he's the CEO of Barstool Sports, and also I think the official sponsor of Kraken too, by the way. And yes, just to let you guys know as well, I had planned for the iTrust interview for tomorrow. That has been delayed. Actually, my interview is with Jared, and Jared actually has a family emergency, so we're rescheduling for next Wednesday. Feel free to leave comments. I will ask him on Wednesday. Look forward to having him aboard. Now, as we kind of wind up, this is a little bit shorter episode, but I could not be more bullish on this afternoon. Let's just talk about the things that are just imminent. When I talk about Paul up in Pennsylvania, having been in this space for 11 years, I've been in about 5 years, and you just keep on having the can kicked down the road. Well, we're out of runway, absolutely out of runway. ISO 222, November 22nd, that's a deadline. This Ripple bank license, it's kind of overdue for that 120-day count. Still anticipated anywhere between the end of November, no later than December 18th, very latest. That indeed will happen along with the Fed master account. This will be massive. Wait for the announcements to come out after that. Absolutely massive news. I love this one. I cannot wait to see what happens out of that. Elon Musk updating his chat messages, and again, the X payments. Anticipate same thing, that this probably should be out no later than December 18th for payments. That's going to be massive for this space and for the adoption of crypto and XRP. Will we find out that he's using XRP for payments? Time will tell. And the biggest one is the Clarity Act, and that's the one that, I got to lamenting about it this afternoon. Here we had the government shutdown that lasted basically 6 weeks. Kick our can down the road basically 6 weeks. So our time frame has to be adjusted for that shutdown. And so yes, you can make an argument that yeah, this could get pushed into Q1, what I'm talking about for the Clarity Act. However, we only have until next Wednesday. Do we have a gift? And maybe that Clarity Act does kind of do that first level of passage by next Wednesday. And again, hopefully by no later than December 18th, that Clarity Act is passed and signed into law. And if we get it by next Thursday, what a Thanksgiving gift for all of us. Cross your fingers on that. Yeah, and I just bought and sold. I just bought more XRP and I sold some more tokens in order to actually do that and change them out. And you might be asking why. It was, well, you know what? It's like it's all about your convictions and deep, where it's like some coins you go, well, I think they can go high, but you're not quite sure of the value proposition. With me, with XRP, I just absolutely have zero doubt. So it's not if, but when that XRP will start to go from 3 to 4 to 5 digits, even 6 digits one day, $100,000 XRP. But so for me, it was an easy to be able to buy. I think I always talked about on this episode, I used to buy an XRP in the very beginning. I didn't look at it as 50 cents or 25 cents. I looked at it as $10. Then I made the jump. I don't look at it as $10. I made the jump that I look at each one as $100. Now, bare minimum, every time I see an XRP, I don't see it being any less than $1,000. So when I did the math, and the other big reason too, one is I actually like, not financial advice, tokens that are within the ISO 222 sphere. Those are the ones I think that will be heavily adopted for utility, such as XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algo, Cardano, just to name a few. And then the other tokens that I had, they weren't in that sphere. And so I actually just thought, you know what, I'm going to go with the thing that I know. And I thought, you know what, the other ones probably will pop, the next day. It'll probably just do a 3x, but that's all right, because I would be lamenting if XRP hits the numbers that we could hit between now and the end of March, if not the end of June, and saying I coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda had X amount of XRP and knew what those returns will be. And so yes, like yesterday's episode, what I was talking about, it's like, yeah, we're talking about the potential being $20, maybe even $100 per XRP by the end of the year. And so yeah, and I moved that timeline up to 30 days from now, December 18th. That is when The Senate and the House convene, and they're done for the holidays. And so we're only maybe 30 days away from potentially anywhere from a $20 XRP all the way up to that $100 XRP. And then from the Todd report and via REMI relief, and this is my second quote of the day, XRP about to give, what do I got? XRP about to give the best Christmas ever. 3-digit XRP incoming. That's the post. Remy Relief, as he said, thanks. So anyway, so yes, and thanks, shout out to you, Remy, for having my 6 in this space. Really appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, so I'm actually kind of thinking in lines with this, and what could we still have? And you don't have to look any further. And I will say this as well. So Todd did chime in with that, and he says if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, he says it appears that I will have to pay my executive producer $100 on a bet I had with him, and Todd's going to have to pay $100 to the young man returning from Arizona. So we do have bets with our sons on that. And so anyway, and then this is my quote of the day. It's like I put them in the wrong order, but this is the one that has me really excited. And then once you start to follow people in this space for a long time, whether it's Brad Kimes, DAI, Versan with Black Swan Capitalists, Mickle Markets, so many, you know that they understand this space so well. They've done the deep dive work and the research, and Jake Claver's included in this group, and this really makes me exciting. In his Q&A that he had, which I watched, it was a great Q&A, so many things I derived from that. He's talking about that this Thanksgiving was going to be a good Thanksgiving, but this Christmas was going to be a great Christmas. Translation for me, and I will say that he did throttle back on the idea of XRP reaching $1,000. I attribute that to the government shutdown, that things have been kind of pushed back. But my interpretation, not financial advice, of this good Thanksgiving, I'll call it $10 to $20 XRP. Hard to believe we can make that kind of move by next Wednesday. You know, can it happen? Absolutely. Will it? Time will tell. A lot has to do with those ETF, and if OTC gets bought up, then the big boys have to go to the exchanges to buy your XRP. And again, there's only about 3 billion, if not 1.5 billion left. But let's kind of divert over to that great Christmas. To me, interpretation, that, my friends, is a $100 3-digit Benjamin Franklin XRP to celebrate the holidays with. Comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. And then that outlook looking forward into 2026. And I'm totally focused on Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm looking for a great one for all of us. But beyond that, once we get Clarity Act signed into law, and we have that activation date, whether it happens before then with a liquidity crisis, or we have to wait for the date that is implemented, anywhere between the first of the year, I call it the end of March, very latest end of June, that the banks will be using XRP for large wholesale payments. Say hello to a 4-digit XRP and a bigger boat. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.